Welcome to the Out There channel, live stream 34. I'll just cue some music and do the usual checks. I'll be with you in a minute. So, going to look at some viral videos again, some recaps, some more information that's come to light, and I'll look over some radiation information that's quite interesting, and also some time travel stuff that has come out recently. So I'll just cue in the music. Okay, I think it's off. Yes, so not sure if we've got anyone joining us at the moment. That's okay. First of all, just recap some stuff. What's going on here? I think it's going a bit slow. So there's been another video of the UFO over the lake, but if you had a look at the video, the guy didn't seem to stick around and film the UFO until it left the lake, over top of the lake, which is highly suspicious straight away. And he took off, said he had other things to do. Now, Paranormal Breakdown did actually a good video on that, so I'll show it to you, and I'll paste it down the side so you can have a watch. But this Scott Brando has also, let's see if it comes up. There was a better video done. Someone else filmed it that day, and you can see it looks a lot better quality. Who's messaging me on Facebook? So yeah, I think he does a side by side, and you can see it's a Goodyear blimp. Also, there's a thing from Goodyear blimp itself. I'll just get the link. I'll just zoom on that one too, so you can have a closer look. We've got shadow underneath here because of the light, but it seems to match the exact same balloon, give or take poor quality filming. And you can see some writing out there too. Blurfo. Better one though. So yeah, paste that one in. Sunday here. What the time is it? 7:30 Sunday here. My birthday's next week, and sucks getting another year older. Normally, you're glad to get to 21 so you can start drinking and stuff like that legally. I mean, legally, instead of doing it illegally. And then once you get over 25, you wish you stopped getting older. They can stay 25. So here it says here, let's close that down on the other screen. So we've got someone joining us. It says here, is this a UFO flying over Carolina? No Goodyear blimp says that's definitely them. And there's that video that we looked at last time. Pop-ups. And they were at NASCAR, by the looks of it. I'll just zoom in. We don't want to get in the way of a good story, but it's definitely us. Blimp team stated from the verified Twitter account. We left Charlotte area 529 and covering the Coke 600 Coca-Cola. So this one here where the guy does really bad filming and then takes off instead of filming it until it disappears. Normally it's a sign that the video has been cut down or something suspicious anyway. No, it wasn't a hoax, but it definitely was a fraudulent video, because the guy would have known it wasn't a UFO. So yeah, as I said, Paranormal breakdown did a good one on it as well. If you're not subscribed to them, they're worth checking out. I've mentioned them before. Another truth channel that just takes videos for fair use and does critical review. He's been putting up a lot of videos lately, but straight away you can see there's one here on, I'll just post it down the side here so you can go and have a watch later. But yeah, one about a dog video where it teleports, which is nonsense, of course. Bermuda Triangle ship reappears. So I haven't actually caught up with some of the old videos of his, but they're pretty good. He also does a Secure Team 10 debunks as well as third phase, I think. But yeah, this one here is the blimp one. Already my throat's going croaky on me. Lucky enough I got a drink here, so you notice he puts up the FBI standard thing about fair use. Obviously he's had a few complaints in the past. He's trying to warn them, they're wasting their time complaining about him, exposing their fake Bigfoot videos or whatever. So yeah, he does a good review on it here, and you can see again he's got a fairly good image like I did, where you can see the cabin bay here and it tapers off, but it's not as good as the other video that we just looked at. So yeah, so he made the same points about the boy. The boy seemed to be a bit suspicious, and he didn't try zoom in on it and stay around till it disappeared like a normal UFO person would. So I'll just post that one separately. That just goes to show, doesn't matter how many channels you got on YouTube. It doesn't matter if 5 of us debunk the same video. It all adds up to proving it beyond doubt. And a lot of UFO channels out there, as you know, put up stories, but they never update them, and they never say they've been debunked, so they can keep sucking people into the old videos, which they know is not a UFO anymore. It's been identified, so they still can get some money from it. And people like that are generally Secure Team 10, one of the biggest channels out there. And on to the next one, next viral video. So I'll just get the link. I guess it's early morning in USA, so there might be people around Saturday. and it'll be it'll be evening Saturday USA, and it'll be really early morning UK. Unfortunately, Robert has got guests in his house, so he can't come on because they make too much noise, and his guests are not interested in UFOs and mysteries, so he can't come on, chat. But he will in September. So this one here, just close that down. What's doing the rounds is a video that the security team put up ages ago, and when it was Haarp. There's a few conspiracy channels out there that don't use science, and they don't do full research, and just take bits and pieces of other people's channels, including my own. Stormy 13, I caught out using some of my episodes, but that's okay. I didn't really mind too much because he was adding commentary and adding his own bits. Was it Stormy 13? Let's have a look. No, might not be that one. I wonder if I can find it on the other screen here. Can't remember his nickname. Whew. Hang on, having trouble finding it. I think I ought to have it now. And you'll remember it when you see it, probably. Let's see if it copies across. I'm not so organized tonight, so just bear with me. It's just going to be relaxed sort of chat anyway, being Sunday here. So this one here, you cool, with the strange lightning spark in the clouds. Stormy Wizard 13, Wizards 13, so that was close. Yeah, but this guy's used some of mine before. So here we go. We've got this strange thing on. Could it be CGI? Could it be faked? Or could it be natural? I don't think Tyler updated his video either. You can see the sun's behind the cloud here, and it's a storm cloud. And I think there might be some lightning as well. But what happens is with lightning, as you know, with Tesla, is that the air gets charged below the cloud as well as above the cloud. And H2O, as you know, interacts with electricity, especially Earth. It's pure water. It acts as an insulator, which means as long as there's no impurities in the water, you can actually step in a water that's got a cable in it and you won't get electrocuted. But if you add some impurities to it, like other elements, you would get electrocuted because it travels through them, like carbon or metal oxides. So it's an interesting video, but it's not fake, although it could be made fake. Why is it not stopping? Unzoom. So he's saying, at least he hasn't got super clickbait title, which is good. Strange lights in the sky, Greenwood, Indiana, USA. Is sound still working? Yep. So I did actually post a comment down here. I always put your comment top of the thing here. And what I said was, sun lighten ice crystals in storm cloud, optical illusion. It's not only videos showing similar, but you can't rule out CGI. But it's known as a jumping sundog, I believe. Google it. So, well, let's do that. Let's do some more research on these jumping sundogs. I think there's a bit in the video where it looks, it sort of acts like a rainbow. Maybe it's at the end. Yeah, is it? There you go. It does look like it's like a lightning, like a lightning thing from a Tesla coil, at the top of the round thing. You can see it sort of swaying around, almost acting like electricity, but it's actually going through ice crystals here, and it's lighting up because the sun's behind. I think there's other videos out like that though. So let's do a search. So it's nothing to do with Haarp or anything. It's just natural, and it's pretty rare, I suppose. And if it's cold enough for the ice crystals to form, I think sundog might be one word. So we'll see what happens. Here we go. Is it all the same video or different ones? Well, at least these people have put what it is. They could be different videos, I suppose. Let's just have a quick look. Dun, 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 dun. Ground flash, leaping sundog. Oh, they call it leaping. So that's one we just looked at, I think. So how many other ones has he got? Oh, here's another one. Doing similar but not as bright, of course. Of course, when you see NASA do videos of lightning clouds as well, you often see these lightning spikes, as they call them, go into outer space, shoot upwards. So lightning doesn't always go down, it can also go up. So that's a pretty interesting one. Naturally, you'd think, I think someone's been mucking around in Photoshop. I think adding video makes it a bit more credible, though. Here's a different one as well. So, yeah. Good examples there. So, that's obviously an honest channel. And you can see honest channels, truth channels, never have any subs, just like mine. 149. So I'll give them a sub anyway. I see he's put an alien face there though. I better check out his other videos. Doesn't mean that he's an honest guy, that he's got one good video up. Look, found even another one there. So he's got quite a few on that video. I'll just pause it there anyway. So what other stuff does this guy do? Shark cage breach. Hover bikes of the future. Windows 10 user issues. Don't buy it. Looks like he does a lot of reviews and science stuff. Explosions, which were probably Transformers on post-exploding, was it? Explosion in Kanagura, Japan. It's on fire. So he's got copyright fair use listed there. Sort of got sidetracked, but we'll have a look at this other one here on the explosions. So what's he saying? Got no comments on it. Oh, look at that one. Fireworks factory, was it? I didn't hear about this. Maybe it was a news thing, was it? What year, day was that? 24th, 2015. So it was a while ago. So he doesn't put up too many videos. I guess maybe he adds his own commentary to it. But he got it muted. I'll just Google that though, because I'm now interested in it. But we'll go back to Sundogs. US military base, well, that would explain it. Fireworks. You should have put military base in the name. Explosion rocks warehouse at US military base. Oh, that woman's quick to debate. A series of explosions. T Russian television website. Ten fire trucks to it. Whoa. That's quite a big one. It's going a bit slow, so I must have a lot of stuff loading. Didn't say what it was though, did it? It's going to be weapons going up. So we want to go back to Sundog. See what we can find out. It could be called leaping sundog. So we want a wiki or something on it. Crown Flash was the other one. So there are a couple of wikis on it. We want jumping one though. Crown Flash lumping. Let's have a look at that one. What's that say? Small writing. Years ago, during museum exhibits work, I was explaining rainbow optics and also explaining thunderstorm dynamics. I stumbled across a strange idea. Shouldn't rainbows be visible, altered by the strong electromagnetic fields in thunderstorm? E fields should slightly distort falling rainbows. This would slightly alter the light distortion of the rainbow. You should notice the rainbow suddenly flicks during a lightning bolt, then slowly change to its initial pattern as the E field builds before another strike. So he's got various videos there. So this guy's experimenting with stuff by the looks of it. Caused by solar reflection from aligned ice crystals, which is what I said, and electrical fields. So that's what he's mucking around with. So, yeah, that's not really what we want to go for. We just want a general explanation. This one here, Reddit. Generally, they have good links and information. It's taking ages to load though. Terribly slow page. Okay, so it's the same video that Tyler put up, and that was 2 years ago. So this goes to show that Tyler knows what it is, but he doesn't tell you. Still hasn't loaded. Won't scroll. Waiting. Why are we waiting? Because people put a load of images on it. Is it finished yet? It's still loading. Looks like it's a long one. Look, everybody wants to have a say on it. Looks like some of it's been condensed even. 5 more replies. Still what we're after. So let's try leaping. I suppose we could look at Clown Flash. Let's have a look at that one. Clown Flash is a really observed weather phenomenon involving brightening of a thunderhead brown, followed by the appearance of aurora-like streamers emanating into the clear atmosphere. The current hypothesis is that the sun is reflecting off or reflecting through tiny ice crystals above ground of the cumulus cloud. And these ice crystals are lined by the strong electromagnetic effects around the clouds. So the effect may appear as a tall streamer or pillar of light. So that's the other thing that went around too, was light pillars. So yeah, there we go. That one sort of confirms what I said. And if you see enough of this stuff over time in science, you sort of memorize it, and when you see it happen again and someone puts it up as a new Haarp or UFO interfering with our weather or Russian attack or whatever, and you're about to debunk it straight away. So the other one is light pillars, which was another one that was put up quite a bit by conspiracy channels. Not sure if I covered it before. I think I might have. Light pillars. That's again also related to ice crystals in the air. And the light shines up them like straight beams of light coming down. Light pillars are atmospheric optical phenomenon in the form of a vertical band of light which appears to extend above or below a light source. So if you've got city lights below and it's got ice crystals suspended in the atmosphere, because it's sort of in that right condition to form ice crystals that don't actually form into snow or hailstones, so it just hangs in the air like a mist. It's like beams of light like this that you get, and you may have seen that on Secure Team 10, saying that a UFO was shooting down a tractor beam, I think it was. And there's probably a lot of images like that. And there is, look at all these ones. Pretty cool. Depending on the color lights, you could almost make it into like an artistic display if you had all the right lights and synchronized it into like a big light show. That would be some party. Winter party outside. And look at that one. That one's pretty cool. I like that one. I was trying to get it bigger. Oh, it's terribly slow. That would be good to get on video too, that one. I haven't seen one of those myself. Maybe our country doesn't get that cold enough for it to happen. I suppose that happens more in Alaska and Canada, does it? Car park lights. Yeah, city lights. Look at that, you've even got the the northern lights here occurring at the same time. Oh, look at that one. Very nice. What's this? Look. You got to watch out for that. A lot of these sites roll out notifications now via Google Chrome and it allows them to pop up messages in the tray. Always block them, else you just slows your computer right down. So yeah, there's a lot of pictures of different ones here. Look at that one. It's got multiple ones, almost 3D effect. See if I can zoom in on that one. Look at that. I would say it was Haarp. Nah, not Haarp. Well, you can see that's coming off the lights down here, going straight up. It's very cool though. It's amazing how many different photographs there are. I'll place that one down the side too if you want to have a better look at it. But watch out for those notification things that they try to roll out on you. I see they've got it listed under My Modern Met. I suppose it's like My Modern Art. Mother Nature is just amazing. Also, rock formations is another one that happens. It's amazing, all the different rock formations. In fact, I might even just look at that quickly now. Sort of sidetracking a wee bit from what I was going to do, but it's cool. Rock formations. Which is set for regular shapes, or what do you call it? Polygons. You know how they talk about straight lines on Mars can't be natural. Formations say squares, right? See if we can find rock formations with squares. And here we go. We already got some showing up here. Where's my mouse gone? You've seen those Mars pictures. Third Phase just put out one saying they still don't know what it is. Well, it looks very similar to lines like this. Yeah, that's a good one here, look. Now, I've had that on Mars. Patterns of nature. Oh, what's going on there? Well, let's have a look at that website anyway. A lot of it's to do with fractals as well. Fractal maths. I talked about that program I did last stream after the artificial intelligence. It was before the artificial intelligence bit, right? Circles turn into triangles, turn into hexagons. So here you go, fractals, patterns, ice crystals. I thought they were going to show us more. So what else we got? One looks interesting. More land with a bank of peat cut and drawn in squares. Oh no, that one's done by humans. Cut up into squares and then they burn it. It's like really good for heating. But there is a lot of places in UK, if I can find it, which has modern polygons everywhere. like I think there might be pentagons. Maybe just narrow it down. This is taking forever to go. Squares, pentagons. Got to remember a lot of stuff in Earth is crystals. Even metal is crystal, and sugar forms crystals. So here we go. Coast on is it Ireland? That's or Scotland or somewhere like that. Rock formation around the world. Let's have a look at that site. Yes, it was Ireland. Giant causeway. Oh, God. So all we got, one picture. Disappointing. But you can see a lot of it's straight lines. Now, if Moon rover or the Mars rover come across that, people would say, oh, it's man-made. It's like a fancy walkway or something, you know, but this is all natural. And not all sort of perfect either. But there are some pictures where it's more perfect. How about this one here? And there you one. They look like pillars as well. And go upwards. There's it on the coast. Be a good place to go and visit. Have a look. What's this one here? Washington State, Washington. Me leaping off the basalt pillars near Vic, Southern Iceland. So there you go, some more natural things for looks of it. Mother Nature. Crazy stuff. It's like someone drew a picture of it. Hexagon basalt. So they're hexagon columns. So again, it's crystals. What's this one here? Prehistoric pentagon. Ancient headquarters discovered in China. That sounds like it's man-made. This looks like it's man-made. More crazy rock formations. Basalt again. Look at that. Crazy. Looks like something out of a sci-fi movie. We've got a similar pattern like that on our driveway out the front. How do volcanoes create towering columns and rock? So it's sort of the volcanoes. So if you saw that on Mars photograph, you know it's got volcanic activity, I guess. All these different sciences, geology. Here's a good picture. Is it going to let us open it? Probably be a small picture. It's the sort of thing you can keep going looking at because you don't see these things unless you're rich and can travel the world. It's just a small picture, unfortunately. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. No. Crazy. Well, keep on going. That's an interesting one here. Quasi-crystal. Second natural quasi-crystal ever found. That's interesting. So before it goes to, where does it go to? It goes to that horrible site that we've just been to. Oh, well, let's just do a search on that one then. Looks like it's selected more than what I cut. Okay, try that. Okay. Where's my cursor disappeared to? There it comes. It slowed it down so much. So we've got some other images here that fell to Earth, so it must be from outer space. I wonder how much it costs to buy it then. If it's that rare, someone's going to be making money from it. And how can we go out and find more of them? Might be better than gold. Normal crystalline solids have atoms or molecules arranged in cubes, hexagons, and other regular repeating patterns. Quasi-crystals exhibit different symmetries that never precisely repeat. Pentagons, isohedrons, and so forth. Produce these quasi-periodic latencies by melting materials under high pressure, then cooling them very quickly in a process known as quenching. Rock samples consist of grains of more ordinary metallic and silicon compounds interspersed with the quasi-crystal grains, so it's not wholly a quasi-crystal. Some structures in the rock are only formed under high shocks, unlike sedimentary or volcanic rocks. One particular silicate structure known as Tshirt, I'll give up on that one, is strongly associated with meteorites. There you go. To confirm this suspicion, researchers investigated the ratios of various oxygen isotopes, 18O, 16O, and 17O/16O. So that's from Russia. However, if the Russian rock is similar to that of chondrite meteorite, as its composition suggests, that places it around 4.5 billion years old. See, it goes back to going to isotypes and how they were formed. Why is it not releasing? So post that one on the side. There's a lot of reading on that page. Yeah, because all the isotopes is based on also on the idea that the universe was created and hasn't been around for infinite years. It's got to be based on finite years, which again relates to back to the Big Bang. So, you know, isotopes, I don't think it's a good way to judge if something's from alien technology or outer space. I sort of covered that in other lives anyway. So how's it going? We've still got only one person watching. Who's out there? Come and join us. So that was the Sun Dogs one done. And if you compare it to a Tesla coil, which I'll just bring up now, how it was going through the cloud layer, it's very similar to Tesla. Right. Hopefully it's got intelligence to correct it. I've got some good images here or not, but we'll go to images. So yeah. It's more closely like this one here. Some crazy images. Shows you how it sort of branches out, almost fractal patterns. Well, it is fractals, I guess. It's all to do with Mother Nature. Something to do with take the easiest route. It breaks up into smaller and smaller bits. Fancy having a Tesla gun like that. He's just shooting it. Crazy. Now you can get one of those for your home, the plasma balls, which is using a Tesla coil in the middle. But you want one that does a single lightning strike. So that looks very similar to the Sun Dogs. Jumping Sun Dogs, anyway. But that's going through air molecules. I wonder if I can do it with ice crystals in there. That would be a good demonstration. There's one here that's quite good. Look very similar to that video, except for it was arcing back around. I guess it depends what medium it's going through. So what was the next one we're going to look at? So we looked at the blimp one again, and the jumping sundog. And let me just have a quick look for the next one. There was a few things that popped out this week. It's amazing. Mind goes blank at times. See so much. You can only remember so much of it. What was else out today? Oh yeah, I just show you these two videos here, which sound like they might be a good watch. I'll just paste it across now. Computer's running terribly slow. Yeah. And we got someone on site. Hey, who's that? It's a little bit cold here, Jamal. And got the oil heater going. It was a hot day, but cold wind. I'm just going over some viral video stuff that was going around. Just minimize that one. This one looked like it could be an interesting one from Open Minds. So I talked about them a couple of times. Why is it not going smaller? Russian espionage and UFOs. So that sounds quite interesting. So I'll post that one down there. I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet myself. And there's another part to it too. I'll just see if I can get it. It's good that the UFO Congress are finally releasing, and some, well, Open Minds is in control of it, I guess. Yep, this one here sounds even more interesting. So I've yet to get time to watch it. Was it paused? UFO crash witness. June Crane. James Clarkson, UFO crash con. So what's the description for it here? Zoom in, hang on. Clarkson tells June's amazing story. He reveals details of his research into government projects going on at Wright-Patterson during this time. In addition, he explains his UFO outreach activities and how others can find witnesses still out there, essentially to end the cover-up. Purchase the DVD here. News and politics. So that's Open Minds production. Problem with these presentations, a lot of them are old, I think. Look at the quality of this one. I'll just skim further into it. See how good the quality is. And you can see here it's not terribly good. We don't know how good the DVD is by this. If the DVD is this bad. See, they used to film the big screen that the audience is seeing, because it doesn't come out too well. Now with the streaming software like I'm doing, you can capture slides and also present at the same time, which is a better way of doing it. But what's he got on the map here? What locations? Or can we actually read it? Probably have to listen to it, I think. It's not very good, and it's going to be even worse on the stream, your end, because of the way everything works together on the streams. So, did I paste that one? Probably not. But it should be on that same page anyway, the same channel to say. So check those out sometime. But I'm just trying to find out the other stuff I was meant to bring to your attention. Let's see if I can figure it out. So, Jamal, what time is it where you're at? Can't remember the last time I saw you. Was it a week ago or more? Yeah, it's more than a bit blurry. Looks like it was probably, 4:3. It's probably taken off a VHS tape or something. Oh, right. That's right. You're in New Zealand. I forgot about that. Yeah, I'm in New Zealand too, mate. We normally get a few Australians joining because it's around about their time too, see. But being a Saturday, Sunday, they might not be on the web. And it's Saturday in America and UK. We're always ahead in time. We're time traveling. Yep. This is the other thing here that was come out on other channels, which I'll just quickly talk about. I'll just get the link across. Everything's running so slow. Let's see if I can copy it anyway. See if that works. So you may have seen this on Secure Team 10 again. US is alarmed over mysterious Russian satellite behavior. And Secure Team 10 was saying it was some like a beam weapon, a death ray. What's this popping up here? Probably doesn't like. Where's the close button for that pop-up? Close this window. I hate pop-ups. So what does it say here? Government appears to be alarmed over a behavior of a Russian satellite. Some in the government even say that it's entirely possible the satellite might actually be a weapon. Because I know they do have satellites that can shoot down other satellites. But it's possibly a spy satellite where they're trying to move it with thrusters into a spot to get a better snap of what's going on below. They're talking about anti-satellite weapon, which is what I just said. Of course, now we've got this Space Force that's happening. Of course, they use microwaves in weather satellites, so I can't see it being used as a weapon for microwaves. Normally, it's to measure water density in the clouds, and it makes it into different color shapes that you see on weather news. Plus, the microwave would have to have lots of energy, and lasers as well. They need lots of energy to be deadly. I know they've got ones on planes that can shoot down satellites. Satellites and destroy even nuclear missiles. But it aims it at the rocket, and it's not like instant. It takes a wee while for the energy or the heat to build up before it melts the nose cone or something. Or they use it on drone planes as well. I've seen a video where it shoots it down. But I don't think the Russians would be that stupid to get caught approaching, because they would have sensors and cameras in space protecting their satellites. They'd go crazy if they broke space boundaries, I guess. I don't know if there's a space treaty or not. I think Reagan was trying to do something like that. I'm in Christchurch. South Island here. Bit colder. So yeah, there are sidetracking. Let's see if we can find out the one that can shoot down the drone. I think that was only on the news a few months ago. Laser shoot drone. We're talking about those big drones that actually have missiles on them, not just the little toy ones. Here it is here, isn't it? Shoot down. But I've got to be careful of copyright. The thing is, even though it comes under fair use, because of the way Google uses the content ID, it flags the video, and then you have to spend days and weeks and months battling with the media company that it's fair use, and until Google steps in. So it's best to avoid doing that. So that was January 2000. Takes down drones with the Anthea laser system. Let's have a look at that one. But I thought there was a newer one they had as well, newer test. Raytheon's laser system can shoot down 3 drones at a time. That was April, so maybe it was that one. So I reckon maybe this has something to do with not the drones that we were looking for. I think why maybe North Korea got a demonstration and decided to start listening to America. If they got all this technology that they've been researching way ahead of time. Looks like it's trying to load stuff. Embedded pop-outs. There's on the top of a, what's that thing called? A sand dune bike, or whatever they call it. A quad. Doesn't take much by the looks of it. They shoot down the little tiny drones anyway. I wonder how many batteries it uses for it. You can see it probably's got probably quite wide, so it's probably got 10 truck batteries going along this way and so deep. So it might have 20 truck batteries in it. That would give a lot of amps, enough to power the laser. But you wouldn't be able to put that in space, because how would you charge it all? It would take forever to charge it. You'd have to use some sort of nuclear or fusion technology. Wasn't the video I was after. Anyway, wanted to see the one where it shoots down a drone. Was it this one here? I'll just pause it. Space.com. Yeah, it's not pausing, is it? So is that a drone? So they aim a laser at it. You can't see the laser on it, but obviously melts it underneath and causes it to burst into flames. So that's the thing with lasers. Unless you got enough fogginess in the air, you know, like in a nightclub that use smoke machines, you don't actually see the laser beam. But they're shooting it from a Navy ship, which again would have lots of diesel generators, you know, enough to power up this stuff just from other fuel things. So I don't know how they would do it in space, unless they've got nuclear technology up there. So it's not as simple as saying that it's a space weapon. Or it'd be easier just to say it's got a like a railgun that shoots ground ball bearings at other satellites and destroys them. If you destroy all the solar panels, right, of a satellite, then they're useless. So there could be a space battle of sorts between satellites in that way, but I don't think they would use lasers. I know even on the rover, it has a low-grade radioactive element that sort of bores water, and they use the steam to generate a turbine which generates electricity, so they can charge the batteries that way, as well as keep the batteries warm, because that's the problem in space. It's very cold. Because they can't rely on solar panels all the time. In fact, once the rover got the solar panels all covered with dust, and it lost communication because the batteries run dry, and a dust storm happened on Mars. Obviously, blew all the dust off the solar panels, and it comes back to life again. So, but that wasn't the one. I haven't found that video. But that one looks like it's got enough in the air, unless it's been edited, of course, to show the beam. That one looks like could be photoshopped. Now there's the laser cannon on the ship. It's quite big. That's the video we just looked at. Shoots down a triangle plane, TR-3B. That's the kind of drone that shoots down here that I was trying to find the video of. So is this the one? And MQ-9 Reaper, armed with a laser-guided munitions and Hellfire missiles. Here's one with a robot. Who made Death Ray? Don't know. So they're saying that people make it in the garages. I somehow suspect that might be fake news. How's it powering it? I ain't gonna bother watching it though. You can see compared to the US ones, they're quite big. They couldn't put it on this, surely. What's that one say? No. What is that on the drone underneath here, though? Cameras? Yeah, could be. I bet that one costs a fair bit of money. That looks like a professional drone, that one. Helicopter. Look how big the helicopter is. Now, that's a real toy helicopter. Not the ones you buy for $50 from China. Some people like their toys. And again, this is not shooting laser beams into space to shout stuff. I think that's to do with something to do with satellites and mapping and tracking stars, isn't it? Sat News. Let's have a look. I think they're just misusing images here. I think they use it for aligning all the satellite dishes, radio satellite dishes, and also out in the desert there. What's it called now? Anyway, I think I saw it on one of the documentaries like Horizon BBC or something. Is it the new drone? How big that drone is? It's more like a plane. So where's someone to stand next to it? NASA. NASA drone. NASA's Global Hawk drone sits in an airplane hangar during a hurricane. Some other pictures of it here. Yeah, it's quite big. I used that similar one. I think it was it that one in that comedy I did. They had the guys from Ancient Aliens in it. They popped their heads up. I don't remember what it was called now. It was like a little comedy I did. Oh, I can't find that news clip anyway. It was on the news. Is it that one here? Assume that one in. Business Insider. Looks like a drone. It wasn't that one because that's from last year. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Can't find the one. Maybe I should search by past month, maybe. It depends what keywords you use. I don't think it was last month though. It's probably the month before. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Just trying to think what the next topic was. How are we going for time? Oh, it's almost come up to 9 already. It's amazing how you can time just flies when you're talking about UFO videos. So let me just see. Refresh my mind what I was going to cover. So who's out there still? You got any extras? I forgot to check. Got a couple watching onto this. So you guys got any UFO stories that you have questions about? I can include it. Yeah. Everything's going so slow. Come on. Or was my mouse died? Yeah, I think my mouse has died on me. Yeah, I thought my computer locked up then. Don't you just hate it when your mouse battery dies in the middle of a presentation? Yeah, I'll just flip it. I've got some charged up here. Holy moly. Okay. Why is that one not lighting up? Did I just put the wrong battery in? There's always little technical problems. Let's not turn it on. Why? Maybe it was the right battery. Maybe they're both flat. Hang on, guys. Right, got it going now. There we go. So, let's see if I can find the next article. I'm not sure if you watched Ancient Aliens as well. But I was going to talk about that as well. I don't know, there's something else I was going to bring up. It's annoying when you forget things. Oh, it's incredibly slow. Does my voice sound alright? Sometimes it goes clippy and staticky when it goes real slow. Now I know where to look. Not even that slow. Oh, here we go. So yeah, Ancient Aliens. I'll just bring up the video. Did one on Phobos, what do you call it? Phobos 2 satellite to Mars, and they reckon it got shot down. That's just fake news. Let's see if it pastes. I'll just pause it. It's quite there's one you have to listen to, unfortunately. Hang on. What'd you say? You watched the interesting video, meteorite crashing over Russia. Yeah. They said August there was some meteorite showers going to happen though. Between 12th of August to 16th was meant to be the peak, so it doesn't mean. So yeah, 19th today. So plus the videos tend to be a wee bit old. So this one here debunks the myth that of it being shot down. I'll just bring up a search for it. I'll close that one down. So I can jog your memory what I'm talking about. It's a bit sad that they put bad facts up on Ancient Aliens because it really stuffs up the rest of the show, I find, anyway. UFO shot down. Oh, it's a UFO. Let's see if I can get some images. Here's some. So they're heading towards this moon, and when they got this line here, which a lot of people said it was a laser beam shooting at it. And this Russian woman here said she leaked the video. appears to include an odd-shaped object between the spacecraft and Mars. Not too sure what this one was. I think that was another photograph from something else that they're trying to compare it to. Not too sure. I'll probably have to look that one up. What's it say here? But as you know, you get long exposure artifacts when something moves fast across cameras, because the technology in it, of course, it would have been old back in those days too. Can't process it fast enough to see what the actual image is. So that could easily be a meteorite swimming past a space probe, and it was taking some photographs. But what's interesting is that video that I just posted. He explains all that they had a lot of trouble with their spacecraft, that they had a lot of technical problems, and they shut down, went offline, especially if they didn't get enough solar charge. And they're saying it's a shadow, but I don't think it's a shadow. Have to look more into that one. But the main one was this one here, talking about this thing. So the guy found out it was actually more like the first photograph taken, and there was like 50 other ones after it, and 17 of them had the same line artifact in exactly the same place, but different lengths and size, and spread over several months. So somehow I don't think the cylinder craft is going to be in the same place on 17 photos. That sort of rules it out as being a cylinder craft. But they don't mention that on Ancient Aliens. They just say it's a cylinder UFO. Sorry, I don't see you there. Yeah, I saw the probe news. It's got a special heat shield, obviously. It's going to get the closest ever to try and sample the outer atmosphere of the sun. I wonder what they use for that shield, though. Like the space tiles, maybe? Something like that. I don't know. How have they tested it? How many degrees did they say it was? I can't remember. It's going to get quite hot, I'd say. So clearly this Russian woman was lying. The guy talks about, I think he might even have some links on his video where you can get the original photographs, and they're all numbered, of course. And it's a podcast. So he's added the radio, just added a single picture. It doesn't move or anything. So he hasn't put links in, they're saying. No, he hasn't put any links in. He did say in the thing he was going to, that's right. He wanted to see the original links. Maybe he had to remove it again. But yeah, go and have a listen to that one. especially if you watch Ancient Aliens. Yeah, I just need to get a drink. Got an itch in my throat. But I guess since you brought up the sun one, we might just have a quick look, see what information we can get on it. That was the other thing here about this, the monolith, which is quite interesting. But there could be just a very tall, like a pillar, you know, just like we saw earlier about Mother Earth making some strange formations. They had basalt pillars went quite high. But they're saying, how high was that one? A mile or something? So, a really tall, thin mountain, is it possible? I think with Mother Nature, anything goes. And Phobos. So that was on the object that they're heading towards. Yet to be explained by NASA. I think it probably has been explained. See if I can find Phobos. So the word debunked there. You can see there's a lot of images on the same thing. What people are saying it looks like. That one looks more realistic here. Some sort of mountain. Of course, we're only going to solve these by getting better images, especially if we can get a rover near it. You think they would be trying to send another probe with a rover on it so they can drop it down and actually explore these strange pillars, wouldn't you? So these are all the debunked shots. Wikipedia. Daily Mail. We'll see what the Wikipedia says. They're saying it's a large rock on the surface of Mars. It is a boulder about 85 meters high, 300 feet almost. Oh no, across it's saying. And how high is it though? Should be able to guess by the shadow, wouldn't you? Feature consisting of a single massive piece of rock. The monolith is bright object near Stickney crater, described as a building-sized boulder which casts a prominent shadow. Doesn't really say much there though, does it? Just said it's a rock. So why is it bright? That's the other question. So much to find out, isn't there? So what's the other pages say here? Original photograph. Looks like a German page. Quality's not that good. Makes you wonder why they haven't sent a rover to go drop it down near the face of Mars there, because there are all those other strange mounds all around as well that they're saying is pyramids. If you put an HD camera on a new rover, you think that would solve all the mystery. Optical illusion here. A floating rock. What bud is it? It looks like a rock here on its side. It's casting a shadow. Where's the sun's shadow? Sun's shadow's going this direction. So it's a curved rock going this way. And that looks like another rock. Yeah. Or is it the shadow of that one? Hang on. Bit hard to figure out. It's definitely not floating though. Optical illusion. Gotta love those ones though. Why is it not reducing? Here's another example here. I was at the same one, different angle. You can see it's just a shadow coming off this rock here. And that looks like another rock here. And we're just getting the shadow. Just a strange arrangement of rocks here. And it's the right angle of shadow. You can see the shadow on that one above. Could even be a dip in the ground there. It's not floating though. Good optical illusion though. Don't know what that one's meant to be. And then Tower of Babel. You got this couple of mile strike off the surface here. People want to know why there's not been an HD photograph taken of it for a while. Doesn't mean it's alien or anything like that. Just means it's interesting and needs further explanation, I guess. I suppose if you had a meteorite plow into the moon, well, like that one that come into our solar system, great big long cigar-shaped one, if that crashed into the moon, surely that would be sticking out the ground too. And if it's big enough, it would be a couple of miles high. So I can't see why people leap at the idea that it's got to be aliens all the time, when it could be just some crazy natural thing happening. That's the other one that has been going around as well lately on third phase, I think it was, saying they can't explain this. But as you saw, I was looking at the weird shapes that we have on Earth formed naturally. And because they've coloured it here, it sort of makes it stand out more, you see, and it changes the whole perspective of it. It only looks like it might be 3D, but like those hovering rocks that we just looked at, Could be just like a crystal formation or something from volcanic activity. I think because they coloured it here, it's just misleading. So we would need to find out the original photograph of that. Crater on Mars. So have me find what that one's called, so we can have a look at it. So you're getting lots of strange patterns like we saw around Ireland's coastline there. Of course, a lot of it, they said, was formed by volcanic activity. Naturally, there's going to be volcanic activity under all big round masses in space, because Earth has one, and we know the sun's one big bubbling one. They reckon the moon's hollow, though. So it's a lot more research that needs to be done to prove that. Maybe it's got a lot of lava tubes running inside the moon. Or maybe it was just compressed together, billions of years ago. And it's got all these little pockets, it might be like a whole collection of leftover explosion material that sort of got attracted to each other and slowly compressed into a ball. So it could easily have tubes and lava tubes and then died out, something happened. I know science on the rock, of course. But we probably could find out by doing some research using Google. Yeah, I haven't found the image again. But you could spend hours going through all the different claims and different ones I found out. We'll visit that site anyway. I'll probably have to wrap up soon because I'll probably have to take the dog out. So what time did I start? About 7:30. So we're coming up to 2 hours already, is it? Holy time. We finally know what caused those mysterious craters. What's going on here? On Phobos. That one on Phobos as well with the... I thought that was on Mars, they said. Well, that's not the same picture, so I went to the... It's strange. It's not on that page. Not this one that we're looking at. Let's see if I can do a reverse image search. Have I got that here? I think you have to install the plugin for it. You can right click on images and say reverse image search it. Image, open image in new tab. I think I got reverse image search. Search image, search Google for image. Well, let's do that then. Snow. I don't think it's snow. It's got cats. Snow. So the reverse image wasn't very good. So that did a reverse image, so that's pretty good. But it didn't recognize the one ice crystals. Didn't recognize it as a Mars one. But I know Third Phase did put up one to see if it's got information on it, since we're now looking at it. Now, where's the link? There. I can't remember what the name of it was. Let's see how slow it is. So it was Mars. But what's the place called? That's what we want. Dear, oh dear. So we got some links. Original link to Mars structure. There you go. What's it called? Probably got a location name for it. So it's in there somewhere. Great. Zoom in. Oh. So whereabouts is it? All looks natural there, you know, rock formations. Can't. Maybe up here, is it? Nope. It'll be here, because that looks bright here. Can we just zoom in more? Right. Zoom in and out, that's all. Can't see where it is. And did they show in the video? Going down to here. So already started colouring before I zoomed in, the buggers. We want to see it without the colouring added, because it puts the idea straight in your head. So there's a line going around here. Rock formation. That looks like it's similar to this one here. They're not exactly square lines. So I suppose if we play it, they'll probably fall in the line that direction here. Well, if it was a building, it's lost its roof. It looks like it goes down here, squiggly, squiggly, from there. It's because I coloured it. Can we go back? Damn. I like to colour things. So whereabouts was it? Still can't see it on the map here. Is it down here? I think you have to zoom right in there. Too dark to see anything there. It'll be down here, I think. That which means you're really zooming in. I think it might be there. Can't see anything strange looking at from here, anyway. Oh, look, there's a man standing there. An alien statue. They didn't pick out that one. I think you're just seeing patterns. So it looks like the region I was looking at here. There it is, but they've rotated it. So that's the uncolored version here. Play with colors and light, maybe. A bit like that floating rock. Even that looks like a solid hexagon type shape appearing here. A bit like those rocks we looked at. Clutching at straws, I think. But what's it called though? What's the experts say it is? What's it called here at the top? Red, no map. RDR, orb. Doesn't really have a name, does it? Just coordinates. Mars. So yeah. So how can we research it then? Some ET base, I reckon. Perhaps we should send B1 and B2 there to investigate it, like they did with the lava flows. So the other thing that, we'll just skip past that one anyway. So that was on Phobos 2 being debunked. But you have to listen to that one there. This goes into depth about all the problems they had with these particular probes they were using. And these lines were actually image artifacts. If it occurs on images randomly in the same place, it sort of says it's not a craft. So, yeah. The other thing was brought up was about atomic clocks. So I'll just round that off with that topic. There's a series that I talked about before called In Search Of. In Search Of 2018. Original In Search Of had Mr. Spock hosting it, and in the new series it's got the new Zachary. I think he's the new Klingon that they in the Discovery series, is it? So it's still got the same sort of theme of someone from Star Trek hosting it, I guess. So if we open up the database here, they did a one on time travel this week. Was it last week's? Yeah. What's going on here? I want Chrome to update. You can see the ratings not that high, so people are not really liking it too much. See, that's the original series here. And also, the original music was way better than some company bought it out and started repeating it, but they changed all the music and it had all this cool sort of electronic music in the original series that sort of made it sort of creepy. But there's one on time travel anyway, and it was episode. Does it have it here? Listed time travel. Yep. So it has episode 5. Time travel is possible, and has that guy. What's his name? Andrew. See if I can find him. Is Andrew someone? Said as a kid, his dad got him to walk through a Tesla radiant energy field, which took him back in time, which I think is just BS myself. But I don't know how you could debunk it though. We've had stories of planes in the sky that have entered into this sort of tunnel in the atmosphere, and it's taken hours off their flight, and they ended up closer to the land than should have been. That's not really time travel, though. It's not like you went back in time or anything. But that was sort of that's more of being in space, and it doesn't sort of come under space time. So yeah, what's his name? Andrew. Time travel. Can't remember what his last name was. Time traveler. Bring him American way, I suppose. Didn't he go on Art Bell show? Man arrested for inside training to time travel. Andrew, that's his name. How do you say his last name? Basigo, involved in Project Pegasus time travel program. Reckons his dad was a scientist or researcher on it. And the guinea pig, I don't somehow think he would use his son for it. So what they're saying, you can only go back in time and then return back to current time. This guy here. Now he was just on that show that I was talking about, In Search Of. If you haven't seen it, go and dig it up. You probably can find it online. Watch it online. So he's talking about his father working for DARPA. Oh, finally kicked him. Hang on, do that again. According to Bestigo, between 1962-72, the US government ran a clandestine operation called Project Pegasus, led to successful development of a number of highly advanced technologies allowing for teleportation, physical time travel, and holographic time travel. He claims the program was run jointly by CIA and DARPA and was used to contact former presidents, teleport to Mars, and maintain a rapport with extraterrestrials. So there's a lot of claims there, no hard facts. So a lot of people who believe the Mandela effect, where you swore it was different to what you remember as a kid. You know, the Mandela effect, like McDonald's spelt with an M-A-C rather than just M-C. And children's books, names changing and stuff like that, which people just claim it's just poor memory, or like the Star Trek saying "Beam me up, Scotty" apparently was never said on TV episode. Yet we used to say it all the time back when we were kids. So we're not too sure where we got it from, but it might have been from a documentary that made it up the term or something. I don't know. Or maybe a TV ad that used "Beam me up, Scotty." So go and look at that if you're interested in that, figuring it out yourself. But it always threw me through a loop because I could have sworn it was from a TV show, but we just don't know because we're sort of programmed subliminally by stuff. They may have even got Spock to say it, or someone for an ad, and it sort of stuck. But yeah. So Andrew claims that he went back to Gettysburg. You may have heard about that. So he was saying it was like a archway that had a bit like you see on Stargate TV sci-fi series, but like that, and he jumped into it and went into a time tunnel. Of course, you don't know if they were doing experimental LSD trials on the kids and see if they could be brainwashed, or so he may have been just a guinea pig for another project, you see, and so he believes in it. So you just don't know, really. But they said you could prove time-space theory with atomic clocks, and I just want to touch on that because I've talked about that in the past. I'll just have a look through the list here. Also, on that show, they talk about time slips, which you pop into an older history and then you pop back. People walking down the street or whatever, or driving their cars, say they slept in a old-fashioned motel, and they left it and drove away, and they went back there again, and the place was disappeared. Now you hear stories like that all the time in UK. Maybe it's a time slip capital. Interesting stories, but hard to prove if you didn't take a photograph of it all. I wonder if they get photographs now. Everyone's got them on smartphones, you know. If they slip back into an old tavern, they should be able to bring back some physical evidence. So I was going to look at atomic clock. Proven time dilation. There you go. So on the show, they have two atomic clocks synchronized, and he drives it up to a mountain 4,000 feet, I think it was, and brings it back, and it's like 16 nanoseconds out of difference in time. So they're saying it's a relativity of time, but I say there's another way in looking at it that I've brought up in the past. There we go. Time. It's uses they fail to forget that on planet here we live inside the magnetic field of the Earth, and as you go higher up, the magnetic field changes, and the flux passing through all atoms is obviously going to have some effect on the atomic level and change the rate it decays, because the decay rate's meant to be constant for the substance. And they use it, again, atomic clocks on satellites for GPS and all that. And every day they've got to synchronize it with the ones on Earth to the ones in out space, so they're all got the same time. So they have to correct it every day, apparently. Would it be awesome if, awesome humans were able to warp space speed one day, achieve warp speed? Yeah, I guess faster than warp speed. Isn't warp faster than the speed of light? What's warp factor 10 on Star Trek? You know, if you're a Star Trek fan, what's that mean? 10 times the speed of light? So if you have a look at the magnetic fields on Earth, it doesn't really prove Einstein is correct at all, because they ignore all other factors that could affect atomic clocks. Earth's so if you see a picture of Earth, because it's meant to have an iron core, there you go. You got all these flux lines, goes long distance into space, which protects us from the solar radiation, of course, because it acts like a force field as such, where it deflects around it. They're like opposing magnets, I guess. So the Earth's magnetic field serves to deflect most of the solar wind, which charged particles would otherwise strip away the ozone layer that protects the Earth from harmful ultraviolet radiation. So yeah, so the higher up you put this atomic clock, obviously it's changing the field that it's sitting in, and I reckon that's affecting the decay of the atoms, that it changes. The decay rate in space is obviously going to be different to what it is on the surface of the Earth. Again, it ties in, I think, with Tesla's research on radiant energy and what he called the ether. And he said the ether, radiant energy, is sorbed into atoms, which keeps them spinning, which makes sense. Something's got to keep driving, maintaining atoms. That's in our bodies as well. And the flux that's drawn in, the energy is drawn in, creates a flux, just like this image here with the lines, which he says is gravity. That's Tesla's view on gravity anyway. And that kind of makes sense. And so again, if you put the atomic clock in that radiant flux energy, it's going to change as well at the atomic level, because it's a change in the rate of absorption of this radiant energy that keeps the atoms relatively stable. But because it's radioactive, obviously they're not super stable, but they decay at a certain rate. So I'm saying this doesn't prove Einstein right at all. It does if you ignore all other theories out there. And of course, proving it is another thing. And of course, they say gravity lensing proves Einstein right, with that space-time and space is bent. But it doesn't, because around the sun where they did the experiment, there was a atmosphere, which they, like that probe was going to measure, which I was going to look up, but I forgot. So if it goes through an atmosphere, of course, it's going to refract light differently. And of course, we know space is not empty. It's going to have gases, so it's going to refract light differently. So there's lots of other ways to look at stuff here. So here we've got pictures of atomic clock. It's quite a big, hefty looking thing. It's about a couple of feet long by a foot wide. So this, you can get a picture. A string accurate type of clock, which is regulated by the vibrations of atomic or molecule systems such as calcium and ammonia. So yeah, you can see they're quite big boxes. So vibrations are going to be affected also by the magnetic field as well as radioactive decay. Atomic clocks work. So let's have a look at that one. So we're saying it's got an error of 1 second up to 100 million years. Natural oscillations of atoms acting like a pendulum and a grandfather clock. However, atomic clocks are far more precise than conventional clocks because atomic oscillations have a much higher frequency and are much more stable. State A atoms are sent through a resonator where they are subject to microwave radiation, which triggers some of the atoms to change to state B. Behind the resonator, atoms are still in state A, are removed by a second magnet field. The detector then counts the atoms that have changed to B state. The goal is to perfectly tune the microwave frequency oscillations of the atoms and then measure. Now, I know Tesla was working a lot with oscillations and the resonance of stuff. Let's get a picture here, how it works. I still say these frequencies, even if it's not radioactive decay, even that's going to be influenced by the magnetic field of the Earth, or what Tesla was suggesting with the ether and radiant energy. So I reckon, do you reckon time travel is possible? I don't think it is. I think time is just a human unit that everything just progresses forward, but can't go backwards. Because you could change your numbers on a lotto ticket if you could do stuff like that and be very rich. So Yeah, what's that one on the sun anyway? So the question is, do they decay as well? The material they use on it, is it decay? I thought it was measured by radioactive decay. Maybe that's some other atomic clock I'm thinking of. What's going on here? Radioactive decay. So maybe that's another form. Don't know. Or is that part of the frequency? Atomic clocks are not radioactive. They do not rely on atomic decay. Okay. Big difference between a standard clock in your home and atomic clock is that the oscillation in the clock is between nucleus of the atom and surrounding electrons. Maybe that was some other clock I was thinking of then. What's this one say? Nucleus decay is unpredictable and random, but the rate of decay of a sample is not random, but dependent upon nuclear structure of details. So let's have a look at that one. Radioactive nucleus as a clock. Not very formatted. It looks like it's from the 1980s, this one. Again, I think that goes back to half-lives and all that, and to measure the age of the universe, how accurate is to say a rock is 15 billion years old, sort of thing. Again, all radioactive decay, I reckon, is also affected by other factors, and it could speed up and slow down in outer space, just like the atomic clock does. It's the same sort of principle. I don't know if anyone's actually measured that at all, like as an experiment. And of course, does it change with speed if you got it in a rocket? But yeah, what was that sun thing? Just have a quick look at that one. Sun probe. Do you know what it was called? Probe. Parker Solar Probe hits first deep space 1 day ago. Was that the one? Ooh, fancy background. NASA's solar probe hits first deep space milestone on its way to the sun. Does it give us any details on temperature? What we were looking for. Can't see anything about temperature yet. It's going to arrive at Jupiter. What's that one? Juno probe. Yeah, what's the temperature? Doesn't say much about it, does it? have a look at that next one. Parker Solar Probe, it's called. Isn't that where we just looked? Like the same page. Yeah, it's just another day, that's all. Go back. So it's called Parker Solar. So if we put that in there, teacher is what we want. It's like coming up with suggestions, because it's the most searched ones. So obviously other people have been looking at it. It's my SpaceX Solar Probe. It's quite hot. So what else has Sheldon done? Is the question. Shield faces temperatures approaching 2,500 Fahrenheit. It's 1,400 degrees Celsius. That's what it says there. But it's slow, isn't it? So you can see a picture of it up in the corner here. So there's everything behind it being shielded. So I guess all the heat deflects. Wouldn't they use some sort of like the magnetic shielding? That would make sense, wouldn't it? Some sort of high temperature resistant ceramic plating and generate a magnetic field that sort of bends the rays around. But somehow you want it to measure. How's it going to measure if you're bending the solar radiation around it using a magnetic field? Then how are they going to measure it? It's interesting. But, high temperature. How hot is molten rock though? That's about 1,400, isn't it? So what's the plankton made from though? So lava. How do you spell that? What is that? For comparison. Is that spelled wrong? Come up with a load of rubbish. Melted rock. They are in it. Lava. Lava. 100 degrees to boil water. We know that, but it's not coming up. We have to read the site. Why doesn't lava melt the side of the volcano? I guess it sort of does though. Some of them do break away. So what's it saying here? Most rocks have melting point higher than 700 C. So that probe is going to be twice as hot as lava, is it? Lava is between 700 C and 1200 C. So it's slightly higher than lava then. So what element doesn't melt at melting points we want of elements? Maybe titanium? I think I may have covered this at some stage in another episode on another topic. Melting. Oh yeah, it was on the Egyptian light bulb. It was the episode on that I did to radiate light from a metal before it melts and see what metals they had available. It was on that episode, melting point of materials on it, I think. Here we go. Metals. That's metals only though. I don't think they would have just used metal. But we'll have a look. Looks like they're pretty low. So you want it to go up to about 1400. Oh, that's a real small chart. Hang on, see if I can zoom it. So is there any? There you go. There is quite a few elements that go higher. Chromium, 1800. Quite a lot of elements go higher. Iron. We want Celsius, so it has to be. That's Fahrenheit. No, that's right. That's the right column. Celsius. Iron melts at 1482, but that must get quite bright red before then. So maybe would they put iron on front? I don't think so. They've got to be using some other elements. Nickel goes up high. Look at this one here, 3000 degrees. Osmium. So maybe they're using some of these rare elements as some of the shielding. Columbium and platinum. Probably that would be expensive. Look at that one. That's real high. 3000, almost 200. See, rhenium. I bet they're pretty rare to find. Tungsten. That's why you use it in light bulbs. Goes up to 3400 C. Was it 1400 or 14,000 C? Are we talking about? It was 700 for lava. Don't sort of tell us, do they? So it's just below 14 C. So we saw a lot of metals that actually don't melt even at that temperature. Tungsten. What's the melting point of shuttle tiles then? See, didn't really glow that much from what I saw. So there you go. Shuttle tiles go up to 1600, almost 700, 1700 C. before they corrode. So they could have used that, I guess. Mountain point of, what's the highest mountain substance in the world? Tell us. Oh, spelled it wrong. I'll figure it out. Computations show that the mineral made with just the right amounts of hafnium, nitrogen, and carbon would have a melting point of more than 4,400 Kelvin, 7,460 degrees Fahrenheit. But why haven't they listed it as Celsius? Americans, about time they got on board with the metric system, isn't it? Makes it a lot easier. So they got another one down here, tantalum, hafnium, carbon, which is what they were saying up here, combination of. So that's going up to almost 4,000 degrees Celsius. So there you go. They could easily get closer to the sun, I guess. I guess this one's an experiment not to get too close. Anyway, I guess better wrap it up. Better take the dog out. I think we've covered quite enough tonight. I'm pretty sure I've forgotten to talk about some UFO viral video, though. It'll probably come to me after I close it down. But we can always cover it next time, I guess. I think we've got a few good cover of topics there tonight. Might have a look at more time travel another day. 10 o'clock already. So I've been going since 7:30, so that's probably long enough for one stream anyway. Yep, thanks, Gemma. I try and do the early one on Sundays now, about 7 o'clock. And I do one every 2 or 3 days, depending if I've got stuff to cover to bring attention to of the fake news or whatever's going around. So I'll catch these guys another time, maybe midweek if you're around. But I normally do the midweek ones around about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So you probably go to bed if you're working normal morning shifts, unless you're a night owl. So I'll just wind down my emanation screen. And good night, everybody. See you again next time.